For 25 years and 4 weeks now, local bowling has been a part of Cincinnati television. Hi, everybody. I'm J.D. Hayworth, thanking you for making it a part of your Sunday. And as we've done for the past 4 weeks, we begin with Youth King of TV Bowling. And along with me, of course, Bo Hudipole and David Newrath. Bo, a lovely chapeau today and a lovely center from which we broadcast.
That's correct. We're in the center of Hamilton County, and we have two fine first-year bowlers today.
Right here at Losantaville Lanes with a couple of first-year guys. David Newrath, it's tough enough to be a first-year bowler, but I guess it's doubly tough to be on television.
Well, you're absolutely right, J.D. The boys have to just concentrate on one thing. That's 10 frames, one shot at a time, disregard all the distractions, and make a good shot.
There you have the expert commentary. It sounds so easy, but sometimes it's so difficult to do. We'll be back to watch Billy Carlton and Rich Jones coming up on the Youth King of TV Bowling.
Welcome to Youth King of TV Bowling, brought to you by Larosas. If you like pizza, you'll love Larosas. And by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Welcome back to the Youth King of TV Bowling, and we begin this morning with Billy Carlton. He is 14 years of age, and he attends Pleasant Run Junior High. He also enjoys an 8-pin handicap, as we have a handicap format here in the Youth King of TV Bowling. Bo Hudipole, you can explain that better than anybody.
That's correct. We take the averages of the two young bowlers and take 80% of the difference between the two averages, which one of them has a 118, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Carlton has a 108 average.
David Newrath, he's a left 3 up there.
It's about the quickest pair of feet I've seen in a long time. The young man was very anxious to get that first shot out of the way.
And, of course, with the mechanics of television, there's a certain amount of waiting and then the standby in the queue, not unlike performing on this medium. Not what he wanted to see.
No, J.D., not really, but both players, as you mentioned, first-time bowlers, first time on TV. Their lane savvy or knowledge of where to play the lanes is next to nothing, but you've got to start somewhere, and just making it this far, being a first-year bowler, is incredible.
Here's Rich Jones, 16 years old, out of Goshen High School. And this is going to be a tough one to pick up.
You're looking at the 1, 2, 4, 10. We call it the washout in bowling. And the object is to make the ball go to the left side of the head pin, throw the head pin to the right of the screen into the 10, the ball carry through, catch the 2, 4.
Well, there you hear the pin choreograph material with it. Choreography, that's the word.
Hey, this is close.
He does it.
Gotcha.
Rich Jones picks up the spare.
That was excellent.
Now moves along to frame number 2. Yes, it is early, not only for the bowlers, but for sportscasters who can't remember how to build word power. Choreography of the pins. That's what it was, David.
You golden-tongued devil.
And you know what I missed, though? Every pin doing its job. Where was that line? Oh, well. Here, frame 2 for Rich Jones. Uh-oh.
Excellent shot. Talk about, here we are mentioning that the players may not be producing any scores today, but a ringing 10-pin there.
There it sits, that 10-pin all alone in the corner. Solitary.
Object here is to go cross lane, stand the extreme left, go over the 18th vicinity of the 4th arrow, and let your arm just fly out at the pin, and the ball should make it. Too wide.
Down the channel.
Before we get too far in the show, I did want to mention we are conducting our qualifying today at Stones Lanes in Norwood. If anyone would like to bowl, call Stones and make your reservation.
Qualifying continues in this unique format, celebrating its silver anniversary on Cincinnati television. Just great to be a part of it, as is Billy Carlton, happy to be a part of it. Here's his second frame attempt. Flame on. There they went.
That was beautiful. Both players, after making horrible shots in the first frame, come back with 2 crushers. Let's watch. The 4-9 are going to be the last 2 pins remaining up at the line. He loses his footing, but watch this. Head pin goes straight back, drives to the wall. 4-9 topple towards each other. Good shot.
Well, will Billy improve on perfection in the 3rd frame? Let's watch and find out. 10-pin left there in the corner.
Not a bad shot again. Not a bad shot at all. I am very surprised and tickled to death that these players are hitting the pocket this well so early in the game. That says a lot for their coaching. The fact that they've schooled themselves on the lanes bow, our junior program, is evident.
It's great. You know, they both are from opposite sides of town again this week. We've had kids. Now this, Billy Carlton's from Coleraine and Rich Jones bowls at Eastgate.
And Billy's shot there, he was displeased with, to say the least, David.
Well, he was displeased because he had a lead build up, and then all of a sudden he phases out, as you can see by the scoreboard there. He actually had a 6-pin lead, and then he opens up. Now it's, if his opponent marks, he's behind. That's way wide.
That's the kind you want back the very minute it leaves your fingertips.
Rich is having a problem with his time in right now, J.D.
How tough is this one going to be to pick up, David?
This one isn't all that tough. You just throw your normal strike ball in the 1-3 pocket, and the pins will carry through to get the 7. It's not a difficult shot at all if you're hitting the pocket. Like
He
that.
does it. Picks up the spare as prescribed by Mr. Newrath. Perhaps this Newrath factor wears off in week 4.
That's right. Whew, am I glad. You see him wiping the ball. The lane dressing is a very light oil substance that's applied to the lane to prohibit the friction of the ball wearing the lane out. Now, as I mentioned, both of these gentlemen aren't quite playing the area of the lane where they should be at. They should be playing a little further to the right in the track or worn area, and therefore the ball will pick up a roll a little earlier. Maybe they'll move out.
But, you know, their averages do reflect the fact that they are first-year bowlers, and they're not going to adjust like the 200 average bowler.
It is a learning process throughout one's experience in just about every endeavor, but especially in this particular sport, because once again the variables come into play. Not only the techniques used, but the external conditions as well.
Next frame, we'll see if we can pick up a shot of Rich's form at the line. His position is completely wrong. He's turned sideways. It's almost impossible from a sideways position to make a good arm swing and a shot through. Again, not being overcritical, I just want to point out a few things to the people at home that they can have their kids work on.
Billy Carlton there, trying to get his game back in gear.
The crumbling pins you hear in the background, we have a roll-off going on between who, Bo?
Kevin Gillette and Gary Grissinger. Gary was our high qualifier here last Saturday, and Kevin was our second high qualifier from Sunday.
And they are competing for the 4th spot on the Huda Bowl King of TV Bowling, which follows this telecast.
That's correct.
Picks up the spare, does Billy Carlton. It looked mighty good, David.
Let's take a look at it if we can. We've got a wipe here and cross lane. He's actually too far to the left of his target. He should be going over the 17-4. The ball is just going to tick the 6-pin, goes into the gutter, and then comes out and gives it a little love tap in the belly, says, see you later.
A little love tap in the belly. And
that's right.
This isn't even our Valentine's Day telecast.
Oh, it isn't? Oh. What, am I a week early?
I think you're a week early, but Billy Carlton's in love with that one because he fills up the frame.
Fantastic shot.
Well, we'll take a gander at the score, and we'll take a gander at a couple of words from Larosas and Pepsi, and be back with more of the Youth King of TV Bowling. Welcome back to Losantaville Lanes, the Youth King of TV Bowling. Here is Rich Jones in frame 5. And he does exactly what he needed and wanted to do, David.
A light slapper. Mixing them up a little bit. That's what you want to see. Loose and relaxed. I'll tell you, Bo, I am impressed. Both of these young men look extremely calm.
They look calm, but it's very hard to be calm, especially with your first appearance.
Well, apparently the timeout we had gave Rich a chance to regroup. Gave us a chance to pay our bills. Let's see what Rich does here.
Whoa. There we see it. The effects of a bad position at the foul line. Let's see if we can pick it up. You cannot make the proper delivery if you're sideways at the line. Watch his shoulders on this shot. Well, shoulders weren't too bad until right at the release point, and as he followed through, they turned, creating that extremely wide shot. From that angle, it's not quite as evident as it really is. The body has to be perpendicular to the foul line in order to create a good shot.
You know, I wanted to mention our high scratch game that's on TV. You know, it's rolled on TV by a youth bowler. Will win a week's paid tuition to the professional bowler camp in Columbus, Ohio this coming summer. At this time, Robert Dashley, who was on a few weeks ago, has our high scratch game with a 219. We have only one more week of regular qualifying for the kids, which is today, and next Saturday, the kids are going to be bowling for the finals.
Billy Carlton, and he's got a tough combination upon which to make a spare.
Well, we have another combination is right, J.D. The 2-4-10. The object again. We're going to have to throw the 2-pin, which is the one most in the middle of your screen, over into the 10-pin, and then the ball will careen through to get the 4. Difficult at best, but it can be made.
It's almost like shooting for your 7-pin, really, letting the ball roll towards the 7-pin.
Unfortunately for Billy Carlton, it becomes a moot point as the ball seeks out the channel on the left side of the lane.
Extremely difficult. Both young men are retaining their composure, but again, not having the lane savvy yet, not really having the fully developed games that, say, a couple of our youth players have shown us, J.D. It would be too much to expect any big numbers. I just think a good, solid performance and watching the competitive nature of these young men is what we're looking at today.
They certainly have bright futures ahead of them.
Going through the heart, leaving the 3-pin.
You know, that warm weather yesterday reminded me that, you know, it's going to be summer pretty soon, and we are forming our summer leagues. All the bowling centers in the greater Cincinnati area. It's really not too early to think about signing up and having some fun this summer when it's hot outside. It's going to be cool in your bowling centers.
Yes, indeed. Right now, Billy Carlton trying to warm up his game. Search and destroy on the 3-pin to get the spare. Mathematics in action. You take a look at the scoreboard. And Professor Newrath?
How about 3 pins? 3 pins, advantage good. Carlton.
They may not be the most adept bowlers, but ladies and gentlemen, we have a close and entertaining match going on this morning.
You know, the handicap system is really making it a very fair match for picking up today, too.
And it's up to Rich to keep it close. He's going to have to pick up the spare here.
Rich keeps, I said the shoulders before, and we weren't able to see it. Upon further inspection, it's actually his hips that he's pulling away or turning clockwise at the foul line before the shot is completed, which is causing the erratic arm swing.
Could that be a timing problem?
Part of it's a timing problem, definitely, Bo.
Give him credit. When he needs to pick up the spares, he has done so in this match.
The 1-3-9, picking it up. Let's take a look at his hips. Just isolate your eyes on his hips. Now watch him right here before the ball's through. He turns his hip to the right. You see the leg kicking around to the right and the belt opening up or leaning to the right, and he loses balance to the left. Even though he made the spare, he's going to have to develop a good, solid approach, and we'll talk about that on our tip in a couple of weeks.
But devoid of the tip. You know, it's interesting, though, because this can be a teaching tool. David, I know you had a little bit of almost an apology to make, saying I don't want to be too critical, but in essence, this telecast will be a great teaching tool for both Rich and Billy as they're able to sit down and watch their forms here and learn from it. So not only do they have the honor of competing on television, but this can be a tremendous learning tool for them.
Exactly. Look out.
He gets him. I'll tell you what, that looked mighty good. Regardless of problems with form, Rich Jones has come through and picked up the spares when he has needed to.
Nobody's going to accuse Rich of being over-emotional today. That's sitting next to Sue. I love it when they get so excited.
You know, the kids well, most people don't really always have the opportunity to see themselves bowl. You know, when you go out and if you can get a videotape of yourself, you can see what you're doing wrong, and a lot of times it's a lot easier to correct it.
Well, what's that saying, J.D.? One picture, 1,000 something.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. However, my particular bowling form cannot be shown on television. There is a rule against obscenity on television, especially on Sundays, and especially going out over the free airwaves. But Billy looks at his situation. He left basically the same combination Rich had a little earlier.
That's the 610, J.D. And again, cross lane, but the way he whipped his hand around the ball, Billy's going to have to do some serious work on his release. This game is so complicated and so complex to expect anyone after such a short period of time to have any real technique would be asking way too much. We've taken years, 10, 15 years to develop a release, J.D.
Billions and billions of balls thrown.
In practice, practice, practice.
Going right through the nose, leaving the 6, 7, and the 10. We've got one of those slider combinations again. Bo, you can tell us how to pick this one up.
Well, you have to have the ball actually go to the right of the 6 pin and slide it across into the 7.
This is the dental floss shot, reminiscent of those who have lost their teeth through not flossing.
I love it. Oh, he's not going to love that. But again, that's that release problem.
The tail, the scoreboard, Mr. Newrath.
The complexion of the match changes with every delivery. Right there, we're going to see about a 8-pin difference. But Mr. Jones, if he does not strike, is going to have less than a 5-pin advantage, and that's nothing going into the 10th frame. 1-3-10. This is a little more difficult than some of the other spares we've seen made.
Yet he's shown a propensity to pick up the spares when he's needed them. Now, what's he going to have to do here now?
He's going to have to actually throw a kill shot at the pocket so the ball will deflect more. You can shoot it to the left of the head pin, but then you always have the possibility of the pins going around it. That's what he's going to try to do. Look out. Not the best way to try to shoot that. You should try to throw a very straight kill shot, just glancing the head pin, let it careen into the 3, and then the 3 will throw the ball into the 10.
But that does still put him in the lead, even though he missed that spare by 6 pins.
126 to 120 now, heading to the 10th frame. And you see the concentration on his face. And that concentration pays off right there.
10th frame game, he's got the hammer in his hand. If he strikes out in the 10th frame, there's nothing his opponent can do. Let's watch it here. It's a full pull. We know it. Gets around on the ball early, but what a great break. Filling up the 1-2 pocket, deflecting and pushing the left side into the left side. The right side comes off the wall, clears it out. One more strike, and this man has won his first match on television.
It was a smash Brooklyn.
That's right.
That's my favorite shot.
He's going to the well again.
And he keeps it again. So Rich Jones showing it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
This is how you finish your opponent off. Look at that. No follow through. He's not too happy about it. But the head pin straight back, knocking the 6 into the 10, and this creates a lead for him that at this point is insurmountable. He technically has 46. If he gets 5 pins, no matter what else happens, he wins the match. 5 pins is all he needs.
He gets that. And a couple more. And you see that sigh of relief right there.
Was that it? Was that the emotion?
Well, that's good. You know, some people have different approaches, and sometimes stoicism, being stoic, being yet, nay, even I say Mr. Spock-like,
That's
vulcanized. That's sometimes good for our Star Trek fans.
You know, Rich bowled a 154 game, and you have to understand his average is 118.
So
he bowled exceptionally well, above his average, and that's important to keep in mind.
Let us also give Billy Carlton some credit. As you saw, he filled up the frame as he finishes out, and that is the thing perhaps we're seeing in this match today, the fact that these guys are improving as it continues.
Well, that's exactly right, and they're going to improve over the years. This is a great tool. We're going to watch Billy finish out here. Again, his release probably the weakest part of his game, going wide, leaving the 1-2-4. Let's take a look at his release closely. He's going to drop the ball. He's getting out of the ball too soon. Right there, the ball should be about 4 foot further out onto the lane. You can see no balance at the line. And the ball is just not going to have an opportunity to have any spin and rotation and power on it. But that's years away. Good shot.
Way to finish that up, huh? So a strong finish for Billy Carlton. And we'll be back to crown our Youth King right after this for Larosas and Pepsi. Back with this week's Youth King of TV Bowling, and Rich Jones, in lieu of a crown, we have here a certificate good for a scholarship in the amount of $200. And David Newrath, I believe you have something else for our king this week.
That's right, J.D. On behalf of the ball shop, a beautiful clock plaque you can hang on the wall. Rich, great shooting. Congratulations.
Rich, how do you feel now that it's all over? Pretty good?
A lot better.
Well, good for you, and congratulations on your victory today. It's not how you started, it's how you finished, and you did a great job finishing up.
I tried to do my best, but it didn't work out.
Well, it worked out in terms of winning the match, and it's something upon which you can improve. Talking about time and looking at that clock, it's time to go with the Youth King of TV Bowling. Back with the adults right after this. Time out.
TV Bowling has been brought to you by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation, and by Larosas. If you like pizza, you'll love Larosas.